Hello, everyone. My name is Jenny and I want to thank all of my new subscribers. I have quite a few recently, so welcome to all of you and everyone who shares and likes the videos and comments. Thank you very much for all of that. I wanted to announce that we're going to have the next meeting for the Sisterhood of the Emerald Fire, but which we're calling the Congregation of the Emerald Fire because I know we have men joining us too in those meetings and doing some amazing work, helping to heal the planets, helping to bring the energy of unconditional love and light and the divine feminine into the planet and helping her as she goes through these adjustments that she has coming to make the shift into a higher dimensional reality where we're living in a utopia. So we had a meeting on the 11th of December. We have had a meeting in November, and everyone who joins, it's free to join. You just go click the Zoom link that I'm going to put in the description box below. And so many people, we had just amazing things happen. We were all able to see, a lot of us were able to see what was being done. And then, we had that, we sent a wave through the earth. Now, 8 hours before that, there had been that seismic occurrence that happened off the coast of France and went throughout the earth in that first meeting. And we've spent a lot of time concentrating on Saudi Arabia and Yemen, the situation there. And we had a shift just after the last meeting then that the United States will no longer be providing support for Saudi Arabia's efforts in Yemen. So that was really awesome as well. And so that will be January 6th at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. So just adjust for your time zone. And today we are going to talk about the full moon coming in Cancer. Cancer is the constellation that rules like the intimate part of us, what is sometimes hidden from others or things that we can hide from ourselves. The moon is about the feminine, it's about the seed. And, you know, that's when we plant according to the moon and the water sign of Cancer. And it's also about how where we feel safe and protected, maybe where we don't feel so safe, where there's some insecurity happening. And this full moon is very intense because the moon is in her own sign. It's at 0 degrees of Cancer. The Chandra symbol for the full moon is rainbows appearing on a white wall. So this is where you can take your thinking or your, have inspiration coming that helps you to create something. It's just a white wall and then rainbows appearing there. We can get caught up in this energy, and really this energy can go either way as always, but this is a pretty intense full moon with everything that we have happening with the other planets. At the time of the full moon, not in connection, not speaking directly to the full moon, but we've got Jupiter, which is gifts and blessings and abundance and going higher and further. It's about wisdom and the guru, the wise teacher, and also just reaching. And how can we make this more? How can we bring fulfillment to ourselves and chasing this dream kind of energy? And that is going to be with the planet Mercury, which is the mind, and then also how we practically, like how we put into practice what it is that our inspiration, what the inspiration that's brought to us, like how do we then put that into practice and make that work on this plane. And so we've got also, when I'm talking about how it's very emotional, over here we've got Chiron, Mars, and Neptune. Now, Mars has moved away from Neptune. Neptune is a big guy. It's Pisces. It's like what rules, the other realms, like somewhere else. It's about being charitable and giving. It's the higher octave of Venus, so it speaks a lot to unconditional love, to spirit, to realizing that we're all connected. And having that with Mars and Chiron can bring up things about like an emotional healing that we might need within ourselves. And it's squaring, though that connection is squaring this full moon. And then in opposing the full moon, we have the sun that has just at the time of the full moon moved into Capricorn. Capricorn is about our legacy, what we leave behind. It's about where we have, where we got our structure, what it is that we'd like to build. So really, you can look at this and say that, it's going to be a tough day emotionally. But I feel like, and by the way, I didn't mention that this is on December 22nd. It's 5:48 p.m. in London. So for Chicago, that would be 11:48 a.m. And that's a 1 and a 2. It's a 3. We've got a 3-year coming up. And 3s are about, coming the Christ self, the Christ consciousness, coming into relation with the spirit, with the bridge between us and spirit, the connection that we all share, that we're all connected together, and coming into that energy, into the fullness of that energy. Neptune is a lot about divine inspiration, and we've got Uranus making a nice aspect to this full moon. And Uranus is about like what's new, what's innovative. It's about youth and wanting to change things and mix things up. It's also like flashes of intuition that come in, like cosmic creativity. And that is going to be squaring that Pluto. I mean, no, that's a very loose square. I'm not going to say that. Sorry. But there's also that in the sign of partnership, the South Node is right exactly with the part of fortune. So that could be where we're getting things from our partners that, maybe that's the secret. Cancer also relates to the family and to, your relatives, your extended family, your ancestors. So it could be something that you find out from your family about, some secret that you didn't know before, or just being able to pull in the energy of the ancestors who are supporting you, and guidance from them and from your own self, like the part of you that you maybe haven't felt in touch with. And like I said, maybe some healing, something comes up to be healed, but it'll be some reveal about something that's not like spoken about and out there in public. When we have Mars and Chiron there at the end of Pisces, that can bring about beliefs about, that we're not in that full connection, that we don't feel like we're really connected, like we have that foundation of Cancer where we're secure in the knowledge that we're fully connected to the Creator, to Source, to the energy of pure unconditional love. I would also say that because Jupiter and Mercury, where they're meeting up there, they're at Antares. Antares is the one of the royal fixed stars that relates to the Archangel Uriel. And Uriel has a very close connotation with Uranus too. Antares is also known as the star of war. So, and Jupiter being politics, and with Mercury right there, I would say you might want to steer away, which is always a good idea, to steer away from the subject of politics if you're, meeting up with family over the holidays, because that could be like some kind of an argument related to that. And when Mercury is with Jupiter in Sagittarius, it's like we have to convince others of our opinion. So I say, everybody's got their own path. Everyone's got their own opinion. Maybe just leave politics off the table this year. So I pulled some cards. Metatron asked me to use the Alana Fairchild, the Sacred Rebels deck, if you can see that. And I always pull cards before I'm on camera because I am really terrible at shuffling. I don't know why, but that's the way it is. So this is relax the hold of darkness and be at cause, not at rest, be at cause. So this is what Alana has to say about that. You are being asked to allow yourself to be lifted out of one level of known reality and into the next level of higher voltage reality. Higher voltage is Uranus. Higher voltage reality requires a more absolute trust and a heart that is surrendered into the greater heart of the universe so that life can happen to us, through us, and with us more quickly, Uranus, more radically, Uranus, more beautiful, and more boldly, Uranus. You are now being invited into this new reality where things can happen quickly and according to bold, loving optimism. This is a reality not only of potential, but of manifestation of the great big cosmic yes. So when we're talking about Uranus and, sudden revelation and revolution and youth and change, and I've talked about in previous videos how Uranus is locked into that square. So that's the 90-degree angle, not a comfortable aspect, but it's also a very powerful aspect. And when it's locked into the nodes of fate, it's talking about things shifting and changing. Now we're going to carry that energy through 2019. So this is where Metatron was showing how timelines that are running parallel will intersect at some point. And, if this is something that you felt that you're divinely inspired to do, and you've known that for a very long time, even if it's something new, maybe not like rushing in this. If it's a project you've already started and that's a divine timing that you have, something that you want to do, then by all means, give it a go. Just keep in mind that we've got the eclipses coming up, and the first one is the 6th of January, the same day that we're doing the meeting. It's the new moon solar eclipse, and it's a very karmic time. Things tend to change, and then a timeline, moves over, or, I hear other people calling them wormholes, however you see that, or whatever term you use, but things can shift and change because of other people's decisions, or that the earth timing is no longer, going along with that. But this divine inspiration that's coming in, you want to make sure that it feels right in your heart, and then when we're talking about the white wall with the rainbows appearing, then it's some kind of creation of divine inspiration. We want to be careful not to be caught up in the illusion of this because of the aspects with Neptune. But yeah, having the higher perspective is also Uranus, seeing the big picture is what he's saying, and imagining and seeing that and feeling inspired by it, not getting caught up in the lower ego where you can't and you failed and you might fail again, all of that kind of stuff. We're getting away from that and we're going into being divinely inspired. So this is conscious connections. There is a call for more intimacy in your immediate relationships. There is an opening for heart-to-heart communication that can salvage and restore a broken relationship or friendship if you are willing to honor your differences and look to what unites you. Sometimes it is hard to bear the differences between one another. We are not here to judge each other, just to be loved and to let go of those that cannot accept us as we open up to those who can. This oracle brings guidance for you to trust in the sanctity of the connections in your life. And so this is about, that intimate, that like we're talking about with Cancer, the part of us that we hide away. And when we have what's known as a wounded moon in the astrology community, which honestly, I don't think really there's a person that doesn't have something with their moon. It's where it's an emotional wound, okay? So this could be where it's time to drop people that don't support us, Uranus, something gets removed. or it could be, that you aren't able to fully open up to others. And this is a time when you learn that when you do open up and show that side of yourself, that's the secret side of yourself, that you're supported and that you're loved. And then we've got new birth, guarded vigilantly. In every creative process, in every birth, in every opening of a new cycle of life, there is a time of vulnerability. This vulnerability is natural and appropriate. It is the foal learning to become steady on its legs. Those legs will become remarkably powerful in time, but the process of growth and maturity has to take place, and that requires some wobbly first attempts. It cannot be any other way. Okay? So what he's saying about that is, when we're talking about, having that creative inspiration, that cosmic creativity and flashes of intuition that come in to start something new, because Uranus wants something new. It doesn't want the status quo. Then, if you do start and you begin to move forward and there are some hurdles that show up, don't just let that go. Just work through the hurdles, overcoming the challenges is what he's saying, and feeling that you're supported in doing that you've got the universe's backing to do what it is that you would like to do. We're not waiting for our higher self or the angels to tell us what to do. And you cannot miss. A lot of people that I have sessions with, a lot of people are worried that they've missed the boat, that there was a turn that they were supposed to make. You can't make a wrong turn, is what he's saying. You're going toward what it is, the goal that you set for yourself, and what brings you happiness and what brings you fulfillment. And there's really no wrong answer for that. That's whatever you decide. It's whatever you decide. And if you don't have anything like that you're passionate about, if there isn't a goal that you have set because you think that what you really want to do is too lofty, get rid of that. That's just ego. That's lower ego, not ego, lower ego. Okay. And then we've got this with the number 7, the legacy of light. You are being asked to honor the legacy of light that is your sacred birthright. Take nourishment and support from those that have come before you. Your ancestral lines, not only in blood, but also in spirit. The more you are nourished by this legacy of light from your past, the more you become a bearer of the legacy for those that will be supported by your light in the future. This is a sacred endowment from the great universal source of light to humanity. It is the light of wisdom, creativity, radical courage, again Uranus, love and respect that is passed down from the heart of each generation to the next. The legacy of light is your spiritual birthright to refine and shine your essence in the world. To be like a sun, radiant and unapologetic of your nature. Okay? So also when we're, we have the solstice energy coming just before that, while that's happening as Venus trines the planet Neptune. And that is a wonderful energy. Venus is about resources and love and partnership. Neptune being the higher octave of that, unconditional love and divine inspiration, and knowing that you're connected and you're supported, and that, you're here. You've got this huge team of light behind you to help you do whatever it is that you choose to do. So pulling in some of that energy and not going to the place where we feel separated. Now, obviously, this is a good time if you have an emotional release. It most likely will be triggered by these energies. And this is on the 22nd, the same day as the solstice. So, we have a few days until Christmas for those of you who do celebrate Christmas. And this is also when we want to reach out to others who maybe don't have a place to go or are alone on Christmas. When this is all happening in the sky, there's a potential that, it could bring up suffering is what he's saying, and feelings of being alone. It also can, you want to watch, anyone who who's recovering from any kind of an addiction problem, because Venus and Scorpio can bring up that kind of thing. And then Neptune also relates to addiction. So, reach out to those around you who you might come to mind that might feel lonely, and just let them know that there's someone there who cares for them, and that you're there if they need them. So it's about like being charitable and kind. And this energy then carries us through until the spring equinox. So it's a very inspirational energy. It's very, divine inspiration energy, and it's the rainbows on the white wall that just appear. Okay, so it's really an awesome energy. And then I wanted to mention too that on January 1st, which I'll get the January video up over the week of Christmas. On January 1st, Mars then moves into Aries, his own sign. So that's about like a push forward. The new moon follows about 5 days later. And then for a while after that, we're going to have all of the planets moving direct. So this is a good time to get your ducks in a row, get your routine, because Mercury in Sagittarius can be about where we're, kind of chasing the impossible dream and maybe not focusing on the goal like we need to be focused. So getting your routine in order and what it is that you need to set up to be organized and to be able to pay attention to the important things that are coming up, and stay focused on what it is exactly, making your list of priorities for how you want to bring this forward. But anyway, everybody, it's an awesome, really inspirational energy, and that will carry us through the beginning of next year, which is what he's saying to me right now. So everyone take care. And I will put the link. If you don't know, like if you can't click that link on my YouTube description box, you can always go on my website. Oh, I almost forgot. I'm having a sale. It's going to start like probably the 1st of January, because we're in a 3-year. I'm going to do 30% off for all of my sessions through the month of January. Now, you may have to wait until April, but that sale will end in January. I do have some appointments spattered throughout the calendar in those first few months, but I'm pretty booked up. So I wanted to let you guys know about that. My website is astrologyforascension.com. And when you go on the cover photo picture, which is the Phoenix rising, the left hand corner is where you can reach the link to the Zoom meeting as well. And that will be 11 a.m. Central Standard Time for Chicago time on the 6th of January, where it's very great energy for doing the work. And I really appreciate all of you. I had some women get up at 3 a.m. to join me on Tuesday evening. And then we decided that from now on, it's going to be the weekends. It doesn't matter if it's the 11th. The energy is always going to work, either whatever time we do it. So, okay, everybody, take care. And again, Merry Christmas, and thank you to all of you. I appreciate you very much. I appreciate your words of encouragement and your emails to me. And you're all very gracious and kind. So take care, everybody, and enjoy whatever holiday that you are celebrating. Okay, bye-bye.